intervention. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested 14 suspected traffic robbers along the Lekki Expressway in 2 weeks. The raids, led by the tactical squad in Elemero, followed a surge in theft reports targeting motorists during peak traffic. Criminals disguised as street hawkers have focused on high-end SUVs, stealing components such as side mirrors valued at over 100,000 naira. Social media complaints highlighted the recurring theft in slow-moving traffic. Police vow increased patrols and undercover operations. Authorities urge residents to adopt a see something, say something approach to assist in apprehending remaining suspects. Over 200 inmates at the Medium Security Custodial Center in Enugu are pursuing university education through the National Open University of Nigeria. Some inmates have reached master's and doctorate levels, part of a broader effort to reduce recidivism through education. More than 100 inmates recently sat for NECO exams to qualify for higher education, with previously illiterate individuals now on track for professional degrees. The facility also offers vocational training in tailoring, carpentry and welding. Authorities call for private organizations to support these reformative programs for sustainable impact. Nigeria's electricity supply has been fully restored following a partial grid collapse on Monday at 2:01 p.m. Local outage affected large areas through Delta's generation complex, maintained limited supply to parts of Benin. The Nigeria Independent System Operator cited vandalism of the Lagos Escravos gas pipeline on December 10 as a factor in the grid's vulnerability. Recovery measures were promptly launched to stabilize the network. Officials confirmed monitoring continues while investigations aim to determine the sequence of events. Measures are planned to prevent future collapses despite ongoing fuel supply challenges. The federal government has approved a $5 billion debt write-off for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to prepare for a potential 2028 IPO. The clearance includes $1.42 billion in foreign debt and 5.57 trillion naira in local liabilities. The move is part of NNPC's commercialization under the Petroleum Industry Act, with international advisors already engaged and potential listings in Lagos, London and New York being considered. Negotiations for new financing continue, including a $5 billion crude-backed forward sale loan from Saudi Aramco. Authorities stress debt clearance is necessary to attract foreign investors while operational reforms proceed. Former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is in a stable condition after a car crash on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 2 foreign nationals died in the accident, prompting condolences from the boxing community. Peter Obo, former British light heavyweight champion, urged Nigerians and Britons to pray for Joshua's recovery. He warned that even high-end vehicles cannot eliminate risk posed by speeding. Joshua remains under observation in a Lagos hospital. The incident has sparked renewed discussions on road safety and adherence to speed limits on major highways. Nigerian Super Eagles head coach Eric Shell has signaled squad rotation ahead of the AFCON Group C match against Uganda. Shell emphasized the need to manage player fatigue while giving all the squad members an opportunity to perform. The coach dismissed concerns over defensive vulnerability, citing the team's attacking strength with 12 goals scored in the last 4 matches. Uganda remains unbeaten in their last 3 meetings with Nigeria. Kickoff is scheduled for 5 p.m. with the Super Eagles aiming to secure their spot in the knockout stages. Uganda striker Uchechukwu Ikpeazu is set to face Nigeria in a decisive AFCON Group C match. Born to a Nigerian father and Ugandan mother, Ikpeazu switched allegiance to Uganda in 2021. He scored a late equalizer in Uganda's 1-1 draw against Tanzania last Saturday, and his focus is on securing 3 points despite emotional ties to Nigeria. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. Ikpeazu aims to lead the Cranes to victory, keeping Uganda's hopes of reaching the round of 16 alive. Nollywood star Funke Akindele's latest film, Behind the Scenes, has surpassed the $1 billion mark at the box office. Akindele credited her loyal fan base, distributors and co-actors for the milestone. This success follows her 2024 hit Everybody Loves Jennifer, currently West Africa's highest grossing film at 1.6 billion naira. The actress highlighted commitment to stepping outside her comfort zone and perfecting her craft. Behind the Scenes is now showing internationally in the UK and Ireland, with a US premiere scheduled for January 9th, 2026. Akindele promises this milestone is only the beginning. Nollywood star Tony Abraham's film Obasabi Auntie attracted unprecedented crowds at a cinema in Bonny Island, Port Harcourt. The film recently hit 100 million naira at the box office. Abraham described the turnout as overwhelming, thanking loyal fans who supported her despite recent social media controversies. The blockbuster continues to sell out nationwide, and in the UK, Abraham encouraged fans to maintain enthusiasm, cementing her growing success in the Nigerian film industry. And now to end news across the country, here are the main points again. An Abuja High Court is considering a last-minute legal challenge aimed at stopping Nigeria's new tax system just days before its planned January 1st launch. The Nigerian Army has rescued 8 civilians, including 2 children, following a high-stake pursuit of militants along the Ikan-Cameroon waterways. The Nigeria Independent System Operator has fully restored electricity supply nationwide after a partial grid collapse on Monday afternoon. The federal government has cleared $5 billion in debt owed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, improving its finances ahead of a planned 2028 initial public offering and boosting transparency for potential investors. And that's news across the country at noon. For breaking news and eyewitness reports, call 070-3043-7110 or follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV. On behalf of the producer Chidima Sogwa and the entire news team, I'm Deborah Wakuba. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
The Enugu State Government, in partnership with the Economic and Social Empowerment of Rural Communities, has launched the state's Gender-Based Violence Task Force. The initiative, funded by the French Embassy Fund for Civil Society, aims to provide survivor-centered services, promote community engagement, and support economic empowerment for survivors. The project is built on 3 key pillars: community engagement, institutionalizing a multi-sectoral GBV response system, and economic empowerment. At the event, the Enugu State Commissioner for Children, Gender Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Ngozi Eni, described the launch as a major step toward ending GBV in the state. She called on government agencies, communities, traditional rulers, and security agencies to work together in protecting women, children, and the most vulnerable.
Today's gathering is not just an official launch. It is a bold declaration. A declaration that gender-based violence has no home in Enugu State. A declaration that we will no longer allow silence, stigma, on institutional gaps to rob survivors of justice. A declaration that the safety and dignity of our people are non-negotiable. Through today's MOU, ministries, MBAs, security agencies, and partners will no longer work in silos. We are building a unified system that acts with one purpose and delivers with one voice. This task force will also enforce accountability and justice. Perpetrators must face consequences. Take note of must face consequences. Institutions must respond swiftly and effectively. No survivor should ever be re-traumatized in the pursuit of justice. This is very important. We must stop stigmatization of any kind. This fight belongs to all of us. Ending gender-based violence is not the work of government alone. It is the work of families, teachers, faith leaders, traditional institutions, security actors, civil society, religious leaders, the private sector, and every citizen of our states. Violence thrives in silence, but so does hope when we stand together. Gender-based violence is not an abstract statistic. It is the lived reality of our mothers, daughters, sisters, sons, elderly people, and persons with disability. It is trauma carried in silence, behind closed doors. But today, collectively, we say, this ends now.
In a speech, the Executive Director of Economic and Social Empowerment of Rural Communities, the Reverend Ike Chukwu, said the era of impunity for GBV perpetrators in Enugu State is over.
Today, we are not merely launching a task force. We are launching a movement that says no to sexual and gender-based violence, a movement that protects women, children, and the most vulnerable, a movement that ensures that when a survivor calls for help, the system responds and justice prevails. Together, we will build an Enugu State free from violence, an Enugu State where survivors find justice and perpetrators find nowhere to hide.
Economic and Social Empowerment of Rural Communities has successfully implemented a similar model in Ebonyi State, significantly reducing GBV cases. The launch in Enugu signals a renewed commitment to ending gender-based violence, holding perpetrators accountable, and supporting survivors to rebuild their lives. The launch concluded with the official signing of the GBV Task Force and the multi-ministerial Memorandum of Understanding by Honorable Ngozi Eni, the Reverend Nwogo, the Commissioner for Health, the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, and other key officials to ensure coordinated action. In interviews, dignitaries expressed confidence that the initiative will create a safer Enugu where every individual can live free from gender-based violence.
From the hospital perspective, you see people coming with physical beating, battery. You see people coming with sexual harassment, rape, and all that. You see people coming, children, women coming with all forms of abuses, even verbal abuses, all sorts of abuses that they mean and damage the human person. And so this is not something we can accept. It's not in tandem with the development goals of the Enugu State government under the able leadership of the Executive.
It's very important for a day like this. I thank God for a day like this. And I thank the President for giving us the platform of the Nigeria Republic, and thank the First Lady for supporting that on the Reducing Help Initiative and agenda. And again, our governor of the state, which is a pragmatic governor who thinks ahead, and the Commissioner for Chieftaincy, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Children Development and Social Development, has done a good job with their PAMSEC to organize this.
Well, what we want to achieve is to see, we want to see a Nigeria, Enugu State, where if there is a GBV case, it will be reported. The culture of silence must end.
In NSCDC, we regard any act of gender-based violence as a crime, not just against humanity, but against the development of our country. It robs individuals that are expected to be at their optimal performance in their offices. It robs them their peace of mind. It distorts the development of the nation. When the workforce are not in good shape to put in their best, the society at large suffers.
It all started from the Bible. God from day one have commanded us to go and fight for the poor.